Hi class, today we're going to be talking about MLA formatting because in the upcoming weeks we're going to be doing some research and writing a research paper. So it'll be very important for you to understand how to set up your papers. I know we've discussed MLA formatting before, but I've noticed over the last couple of papers there have been some issues in how to set it up. So I want to provide you a step-by-step process and video that will help you set it up correctly. So the first thing you're going to do, of course, is open Microsoft Word. Then you'll hit Blank Document. Once that document comes up, there's a couple of things I want you to do first. First, I want you to check your font. It always defaults or automatically opens up to Calibri Body. So you're going to want to change that to Times New Roman. Now, if you haven't recently used it, it's not going to appear right here. So you'll have to scroll down and you'll find it because it's in alphabetical order to Times New Roman. Then you want to check your font size. It always defaults to 12, but just make sure because it has to be on 12. Now that we have our font set up, you're going to go over here to the buttons where it says line and paragraph spacing, and you're going to click it and hit 2 because you want it to be double spaced. Now, for some reason, if you cannot find this button or you're worried this is not set up correctly, you'll go over here to Format, Paragraph. That'll open up this window for you, and you want to look here at spacing. So before it needs to be 0 and after it needs to be 0. If these numbers are different, you're going to want to use these little buttons to change it. So always make sure it says 0, 0. And here it says line spacing double. You also might want to check up here where it says indentation and make sure it says none. This will be important later, so just remember this box. So everything looks good, so we're going to go ahead and close it. Hit OK. So the first thing you need to do for MLA formatting is create your heading. Not your header, your heading. And it's going to be here in the regular area. So wherever the first cursor starts, you're going to write your name. So my name is Andrea Garcia, and that is what I'll put. Then you're going to hit enter. Notice it's double spaced. Here I'll put my teacher's name. So for this class it's Miss Garcia, but if you happen to be in another class writing a paper, it'll be that teacher's name. Then you hit enter again, and you're going to write the class that you're in. So my class is English 1, so hit English 1, and I like for you to also put what period you're in. So 4th period or 6th period. Then you're going to hit enter again, and this is where the date will go. As you can see down here at the bottom of my screen, it says it's April 14th. But MLA is very specific on how it wants the date set up. So what you'll do is you'll first put the date. So it's the 14th. Then we're going to put the month. So it's April, and then the year. That's how you're supposed to set up your header. If your header looks exactly like this, it is perfect. So remember, name, teacher's name, class, and date. Then you're just going to hit the enter button one time. We see that it's left aligned, which means it's all the way to the left. But this is where I want my title to go. So I'm going to go up here to the alignment buttons and hit center text. Now I'm not going to make it bold or italics or underline. It's just plain Times New Roman font 12, and I'll just put the title. So I'm going to put a very generic title for this paper, but you need to remember that your titles need to be original and stand out, catch the reader's attention. Okay, so for this one I'm just going to put research project paper. Okay, then I'll hit enter again. Now notice that the cursor is still centered, but I want to start my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here to hit the left align. Okay, so now my cursor is all the way to the left, and that's where I need my writing to begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to hit tab because I'm going to start a paragraph, and you always hit tab when you start a new paragraph. Now I have some text already set up, and I'll go ahead and read it to you because it kind of gives you an idea of how your papers are supposed to be set up and kind of just a recap. But notice that there is the indent up here. Okay, so this is where I will start my paper. My hook should be the first sentence. The hook catches the reader's attention and makes them want to read about my topic. Now I'll provide a bridge to my thesis statement. The bridge connects my hook to my thesis while providing important information my reader needs to know before they read my paper. My introduction will end with my thesis statement. My thesis statement will tell my reader what my paper will be about. Now, as you notice, I'm done with this paragraph. So when I hit period, I would hit enter and then tab again. That will start my new paragraph. This is how readers know when a new paragraph starts, is by that indentation. So it's very important that you use it. So this is where my first body paragraph will go. The topic sentence is always the first sentence of the paragraph, and it is meant to explain what I'm going to talk about. I never put a quote as my topic sentence. Instead, I will put my quote as a second sentence, since it is supposed to be an example that supports my topic sentence. I will always introduce my quote, because having a dropped quote or a quote that's not introduced is a big no-no or a big no-go, okay? Every quote is followed by 1 to 2 sentences of commentary or explanation. Once you have completed your commentary, you will provide one more concrete detail or quote and repeat the process above. And again, this is where my paragraph ends, so I would hit enter and tab, and that gets me ready for the new paragraph. Now, once I've finished my paper, there's one more step that I want you to do, and it's required by MLA, okay? So you're gonna go up here and double click, and the header should come up. Now, to get out of the header, you can click anywhere on the paper. If for some reason when you're double clicking at the top it does not work, you can go to Insert, Header, and then Edit Header. If you do that though, you need to hit Home, because as you can see, it's defaulted again to Calibri body, and you want it to be Times New Roman. So we'll fix it. And then you're going to come over here to the alignment buttons and hit Align Right. This is where you're going to put your last name, okay? So I've typed in Garcia, whatever your last name is, you type it and then hit space, because now you're going to go to Insert, and you're going to do Insert Page Number. The position is top of page in the header, right alignment. And then you want to make sure that it's clicked right here, Show Number on First Page. Then hit OK, and your page number will appear. Now you can click out of the header. It's important that you use Insert Page Number and don't just type 1, because whatever is in the header will be repeated on every page. And I will show you that, just so you have an idea. So notice, because I put Insert Page Number, the second page says Garcia 2. If I had typed Garcia 1 up here, it would repeat the same number here. So just make sure that you use Insert Page Number, okay? Another thing I'd like you to remember is before you submit any paper, you will need to go up here to Tools, Spelling and Grammar, and Spelling and Grammar Check. Okay, I don't have any errors, so mine says Spelling and Grammar Check is complete. But you also want to be careful when you are doing spelling check with names, because sometimes it'll say a name is misspelled wrong. It might even say your name is misspelled wrong. You would just hit ignore if that's an issue, okay? And I'll give you an example of what that might look like. My friend is named Jamie's, okay? Now we see the little red squiggles underneath it. That indicates that it's misspelled wrong. So there's 2 ways I can check that. I can either hit Control and click on it and it'll give me suggestions, or I can wait till the end and go up to Tools, Spelling and Grammar, and it'll give me suggestions. Now if my friend's name is spelled right, I don't want it to change, so I can either hit Ignore once, or if I've said it several times, I'll hit Ignore All. If I need it to change, I'll click on whichever is correct. So let's say his name was supposed to be James, and hit Change. And now everything is correct. If you do not see any squiggly lines, that means there's no spelling errors. Okay? Always remember to also save your document. So there's 2 ways you can save it. You can do the little disc up here where it says Save, or you can go to File and Save. Okay? Save As will allow you to title it differently, and Save will just save it. So the first time it will ask you to name it. So I'll put MLA paper. Here's where I want it to save, my desktop. and I hit save. Notice once you've saved it, it'll change the name up here at the top, okay? So that's going to be it for this particular video. We're going to continue to use this MLA paper to work on inserting quotes in MLA format and also doing your works cited in MLA format. But this should help you if you ever have any questions or have to do an MLA paper. Thanks, guys.